Hello everyone, my name is John Bussart. I'm an HPE Solution Center Engineer for Ingram Micro. I help support servers, blade systems, storage, as well as networking technology solutions from HPE. In my videos, what I like to do is show you a slide from a popular PowerPoint and then present to you what that means within a management interface. Today, we're going to look at Veeam's backup and replication and its special integration in with 3Par StoreServ based storage solutions. Veeam allows us to be able to leverage snapshotting technology to provide storage restore points, as well as a quick way for being able to recover virtual machines and the files within in the worst case circumstances. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to show you how this works, as well as how we actually integrate 3Par StoreServ in with our Veeam environment. So certainly Veeam Backup and Replication is an OEM HPE product. Backup and Replication is also found within Veeam 1. So with that being said, let's explore this management interface. First, we're going to explore the layout of my virtualized environment. So I have this vCenter incident with this data store and this cluster that consists of these two ESX systems. And in this cluster, we have a variety of virtual machines that are running. We're mainly going to be interested in this Back Me Up Ingram Micro virtual machine itself. Currently, this virtual machine runs on this storage down here. And this actually exists on my 3Par 8200. If I select this storage system, my context changes to the data store view. And we can see that data store is selected. I've got a variety of virtual machines that are running on that host. If I look on the back end in the 3Par storage system, we'll go down and look at virtual volumes. That volume that we're looking at is actually this volume here. We can tell over here it's exported to those two ESX servers in this environment, which again are these two ESX servers here. If we look at the copies or the snapshots, you can see that I don't have any created at this point. All right, so that's kind of how the infrastructure is laid out. Let's look at our backup and replication server itself. All right, so I have a variety of backup jobs that have been created. If you look under backup itself, you can see I only have disk-based backups. I don't have anything related to snapshots. If we go down to storage infrastructure, you can see that we don't have any storage systems added into this environment. So let's go through that process of adding our 3Par storage system. I'm going to click Add Storage, 3Par StoreServ, and I'm going to put the IP address of my storage system. I'm going to click Next. And next, I'm going to put in some credentials. I could certainly add some credentials if I wanted to, but I already have those added inside my environment right here. And I'm going to click Next again. It's going to ask me if my fingerprint is okay, and it certainly is. And it's going to save the configuration itself. And then I could choose my protocol, so this system definitely has Fiber Channel as well as iSCSI. And then I'm going to click Finish. And it's going to go through the process of adding this storage into this environment. Now, keep note that I like to take out some of the dead space in this environment, so if you want to get an accurate representation of time, look down here, and sometimes you might see some of the durations hop around a little bit again because I'm taking out some of the white space. So the rescan is complete. We're going to click Close. You can see I've got a heading here now that's 3Par StoreServ, and we can expand that out, and we actually see my storage system listed. Expand it out again, we can see all the volumes that exist on my storage system. So again, if I look back inside my storage system, those will be all these volumes of my 3Par. Right. Currently, there are no snapshots that are created, so if I expand this out, we'll see that I don't have anything inside this environment. Right, which goes back to what we're seeing here. All right, so let's create a snapshot within Veeam. So if I right-click, select Create a Snapshot, we'll leave it with its default name, and I'll click OK. It's going to validate the snapshot parameters, and it's actually going to create that snapshot. Now it's going through to analyze the virtual machines that exist on that snap. Alright, so it's finished analyzing, and now the snapshot is ready for restore operations. If I click close, you can see the snapshots listed here, and all the virtual machines show up. By looking back inside my storage system, you can see we've got this one snapshot listed over here. Right, so again, I could certainly use snapshots created within Veeam, but more likely than not, we're going to have our storage system create snapshots itself so we can run it through a schedule. So for example, if I click create a snapshot, we'll give it a name, we'll call it new snap. Right, and then I could put it on a schedule if I felt like it, which would most commonly be done. Right. I am just going to do it once now and click create. Get a little notice up here that the snapshot's being created. See it listed over here. In a little bit it'll show up in this context. There we go, you can see both of our snapshots. Now it'll show up inside Veeam over time, but I want to kind of rush it along, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to rescan volume. And it'll detect that other snapshot that we just created. You can already see it showing up here, but it's going to go analyze the virtual machines that exist on that volume. Okay, the volume rescan is complete, and now we have another restore point. Again, I could select this new snap, and we can see those virtual machines exist. Right? If I go under the backup and replication section, you can see that now we have storage snapshots listed. When I select that, you can see that our volume exists. If I expand it out, we can see all our virtual machines exist as well. Right, so let's go back inside our vCenter server, and let's do something catastrophic. Let's actually power off our virtual machine. And then what we'll do is we'll delete this from disk. Alright, so this is about a 100 gig virtual machine that we just deleted from off our environment, and we need to recover it, we'll say. So let's go use Veeam backup and replication to do that. Alright, so we'll take our machine here. We're going to right click, we're going to do an instant VM recovery. Take note, we could have done other types of recovery. We could have recovered virtual machine files. We could have also recovered application aware QSing if we had done that. We'll select our new snap. Click next. We're going to restore it to its original location. All right, we could put in a restore reason, and we're going to connect this to the network as well as power on. And it's giving us a little note to make sure that the other virtual machine is powered off, because we wouldn't want a MAC address conflict on the network. And then we're going to click restore, and then finish. And we get a little message that it's still working in the background. So click OK. Down here we'll see running. I can double click on that to bring up that context again. Right, so what's going to happen inside the VMware environment is it's going to redetect the storage and add it in the environment. It's going to detect a snapshot is going to be presented into the environment. And we can see a rescan of HBA happening right now. If I go over into storage, you can see these are the volumes that we're working with, and namely we're working with this volume. In a little bit we're going to see a volume pop up that has snap listed in front of it, and then it'll be also have this naming in it as well. Right. We see a re-signature of our unresolved VMS volume. So basically, I can't export the same volume, a snapshot of a volume, to the same system because VMware will think it's the same volume. So you have to re-signature the volume before you present it in the environment, and that's what's happening back here. We can also look inside the Veeam environment and look at the same message over here. The re-signature is complete, and now we can see this new snap volume listed. If I select that, we're under the virtual machines context. We don't see any virtual machines next. So now what Veeam's going to do for us is actually register the virtual machine that we're trying to recover. And if we look over here, we'll see we're updating the virtual machine configuration. And now we're registering that virtual machine. And if we do a refresh, we can see that virtual machine is now existent on this volume. And it's been powered up. As a matter of fact, if I go back to the host and clusters view, You can see that virtual machine exists here. It also exists on that storage as well. We'll scroll up. I can actually click on the console and we can actually log into this guy. So this system's back up. Obviously we get the crash consistent message. We'll click OK, and Server Manager is also going to pop up as well. So it was real quick to be able to get a virtual machine back up and running through our snapshots. Now our job isn't finished yet. If I go back into the Veeam environment, you can see it's waiting for user to start the migration. All right, so let's close this. If I look inside vSphere, our volume still exists on that snapped storage. So we need to kind of do a storage vMotion to move it back into production. So let's go up here. We have instant recovery listed up here. So we'll select that. There's the virtual machine. We'll right click and now we'll migrate that into production. Now pretty much just going to leave the defaults. And now it's going to check for the possibility of migration using a storage vMotion. And now we'll finish. And it'll kick off the process for migrating that virtual machine back into production. You can see a start of migration context and it's processing the virtual machine in question. Go back into the vCenter environment in a little bit. We'll see the migration or the relocation of the virtual machine pop up. There we go. Relocate virtual machine is starting to happen. We're already at 30%. We'll kind of wait as this kind of cycles through. All right, the migration is complete. And now if I refresh this interface, we'll see that our virtual machine now exists in its original location. If I look inside storage, we'll see we're unmounting and detaching that snap storage, and we're already getting a message on that happening in the background. But in a little bit the snap will disappear. Yeah, it's disappeared, everything's completed, and now we're back as we had started. So we quickly recovered from an accidental deletion of this virtual machine. So that's Veeam's special integration with 3Par StoreServ. I hope you found this video informative, and please stay tuned for more videos.